Hi, I'm Chuck Underwood. At Ucentric Solutions, we specialize in outsourced accounting services for small and mid-sized businesses. In our business, we get lots of questions from entrepreneurs. One question in particular comes up the most: where do I start? In this video, I'm going to give you my top 3 recommendations for a new entrepreneur just getting started. A couple of caveats before we begin. Number 1, the recommendations are broadly applicable state to state, but are targeted specifically for businesses starting up in Kansas. Number 2, these are the first 3 steps I recommend. Depending on your business, there will be additional steps as well. So the first step we're going to take is to open a separate bank account from your personal bank account. And this is important for a couple of reasons. One is we want to create some legitimacy around your business, some credibility around your business, and that applies for your vendors and for your customers, lenders, tax authorities, and most importantly with you. You have a business, you need to start out treating it like a business. It needs to be separate from your personal. The second reason it's important is it'll give you a quick barometer of your profitability. If you still have your finances mixed together, it's hard to tell how well your business is doing. So having a separate checking account will give you some visibility into your cash flows, the ins and outs, and it'll also help you inform your decision making. Most banks have free business account options, so it's fairly easy to get started and there's no reason not to do it. All right, so that takes us to our second step, which is to file for a sales tax ID number. And this is admittedly where it gets a bit more complicated. All right, so what we need to do is we need to research our state requirements. We're going to need to file a business tax application. We also are going to have the opportunity to register to e-file our sales tax returns and even register to be able to pay those taxes electronically. And we'll also have the opportunity to learn what our sales tax exemption rules are for our particular state. So at this point, we're going to move into specifically the state of Kansas, some rules and things related to that. We can file for our sales tax ID number, and what we want to do here first of all is get to our sales tax and compensating use tax booklet from the Kansas Department of Revenue, which is updated periodically. On the right side of the screen you'll see the website address that you can access that publication 1510. All right, so in it, it's going to have everything for requirements to collect and file sales tax, when and if your purchasers are sales tax exempt, and how to get sales tax exemptions for specific things. So this is a very important document that you're going to want to access. All right, so this takes us to the next step, which is we're going to need to file for our sales tax ID number using a Kansas business tax application form. Again, we've got the website address on the far right there. It's CR16. And in that, you're going to want to complete this document from top to bottom, which is several pages long. Not everything needs to be completed at this time. For instance, if you do not have payroll, you're not going to want to fill out the payroll tax section of this. But you most likely are going to need to file the sales tax portion of this document. Okay? So you're going to fill that thing out completely, which is going to take us to the next stage. So you're going to file that with the state either by mailing or faxing the form. And what will happen is within a week or so, you will receive a sales tax ID via the mail. And from there, you're going to have steps to register. Included in the document that you're going to get, you'll have the sales tax ID letter, and you're also going to have steps to register for e-filing as well. On this next screen, we've got a sample of this letter that you can receive here. At the bottom is you have your retailer sales tax registration form. So this is what that first page is going to look like. All right, so it's most important you're going to want to observe what's on the right side of this certificate. So we have a tax account number, which you're going to need to have on hand. You're going to want to keep this close by for the purposes of filing your sales tax returns. That is your sales tax identification number. And the middle section of that's going to actually be your federal ID number. So if it's your social security number you're using for your company or a different number, that's going to be the middle section of your sales tax ID number. The other thing you really want to pay attention to is the filing frequency. So on a new filer in the state of Kansas, the filing frequency will depend on that Kansas business tax application on the volume of sales that you have had up until you have applied for the application or for the sales tax ID number or the sales that you expect to have. And so that will change. That filing frequency could be annual, could be semi-annual, could be quarterly, could be monthly, or even, I believe, even semi-monthly. Now, this frequency can and does change from year to year depending on the volume of sales that you have. And you'll get a notice on an annual basis, or as those sales increase past a certain threshold, you'll get that at the end of the year where the sales volume has increased or decreased considerably. So you really don't need to worry about that right now, but you do need to know how often do you need to file your sales tax. Okay, so then the last thing there is another page to your document that should have some kind of a code on there and some instructions on how to register your account online with the Kansas Department of Revenue, as well as set up your payment instructions in there so that you can log in on a periodic basis on your filing frequency basis and file your sales tax returns and issue your payment electronically through that. So this takes us to our third step, which is to use an accounting system. While having a separate checking account is important, it's still no substitute for having an accounting system. There are plenty of accounting systems out there that you can pick from. There's, for instance, QuickBooks Online, Xero, FreshBooks, etc. There's the large number out there. And the value of having an accounting system is it provides a true visibility and categorization accuracy for your transactional activity, and that's important. Checking account can't do what an accounting system can. For instance, you can track your receivables, you can track your payables, you can track your assets and your liabilities. All of those things are not readily visible in a checking account transaction. So it's hard to understand the categorization and how you should treat something from an accounting perspective in the checkbook. Another value of having an accounting system is the automation of workflows. So for instance, QuickBooks Online has banking automation, so it ties into your bank accounts, and that information will drop into your accounting system. Your credit cards will drop into your accounting system, and through application of rules, you can automate, in a sense, your categorization of transactions. It's really, really slick. You can set up repetitive transactions for invoicing customers. You can also automate your billing and your payments as well. There's a lot of different things you can do with the online platforms that are out there now for accounting. Also, most of the platforms have some form of app integration. And what that means is there are a host of applications that will integrate with your accounting system, and they will automate the flow of information from that application into your accounting system. So for instance, Square can be integrated into your QuickBooks Online, for instance. So it's really, really neat. There are literally 1,000 or more different applications that can integrate with QuickBooks Online, for instance. Another thing that an accounting system will do is for you is provide an affordable option for you to keep your books in order. Okay, so at this point, I believe all of them have some form of monthly subscription cost. So we're no longer paying on an annual basis. So it's nice that you can have something that you can work with that doesn't break the bank. That's the idea. Okay, let's look at QuickBooks Online. So QuickBooks Online is the largest online accounting platform in use today. There's over 7 million global subscribers. So you can see we've got a link over here for QuickBooks Online, which also got a snapshot of what the current pricing looks like for QuickBooks, and that changes from time to time. There's also some other things you can do if you end up working with an outside or accounting firm or bookkeeping practice. Sometimes they can roll that into their accounting fee. That's what we do. That's part of our pricing, is to cover those costs. But in any case, those are kind of give you a sense of what the cost looks like at this point in time for QuickBooks. Intuit's focus right now is on QuickBooks Online. It is not on desktop any longer. Hasn't been for probably 6 or 7 years. They have made incredible strides in the software in the last 10 years. It is a platform that we feel is applicable to almost 90% of the customers that we come across. So it's hard for us to see a scenario where QuickBooks Online wouldn't work for a customer. All right, and we also see that Intuit's app integration is unparalleled. There's nobody even close to having the number of apps that integrate with QuickBooks Online that they do. Xero would be the next best option, but they're far second. So a lot of those things we talked about, automations and app integrations, QuickBooks Online has that. And so all of our customers currently are on QuickBooks Online. We made that move about 3 years ago, and we found that having one system that we work with makes the most sense. And again, we found that almost all of our customers, I guess in our case, all of our customers were a good fit for QuickBooks Online. Okay, so now what do you do with that information? So if you're struggling with what to do with the accounting system, how to find an accounting system, you want some help with finding an accounting system, we would recommend that you try to find a QuickBooks Pro Advisor. So what is a QuickBooks Pro Advisor? So a QuickBooks Pro Advisor is an accounting or bookkeeping professional who is certified annually in the QuickBooks Online platform. So every year you're required to take a test to affirm your knowledge of the most current version and application of QuickBooks Online and some of the various products associated with it. That's what a QuickBooks Pro Advisor is. And what they have done is they have put out a website, and it's noted on the right side of the page here, to allow you to be able to find somebody that's in your area, and also provides a listing of the types of skills that and experience that they may have. And I'll show you mine in just a moment. But so that's what a QuickBooks Pro Advisor is. So they can help you do a number of different things. They can help you select the right QuickBooks Online version. They can help you set it up. If you've already have QuickBooks Online and you've been having problems getting it set up, they can help you clean things up. And they can help you maintain and or manage your books. All right, so it's important when you look for a QuickBooks Pro Advisor, you want to make sure that you find someone who understands accounting principles, understands your business, the type of business you're in, the industry that you're in, and they need to understand your goals and objectives. In my opinion, finding a QuickBooks Pro Advisor is an important part of this process. So to recap the 3 steps, we need to first open a separate checking account. Second, we need to file for a sales tax identification number. And lastly, we need to find and start using an accounting system. I hope this video has been helpful, and should you have any questions, please click the yellow button below to schedule a free call.